Hello, and welcome to my channel. I am Miss Deborah, and what I do on my channel is I take time to answer some of your questions and to talk about things that perplex people, things that are important in life. And right now, there's a lot of conversation going on by people who haven't voted before, who are new. This may be their first year to vote for the President of the United States. I want to help you with making that decision if you have not already made it. And if you have, I'd like you to consider if it is truly the best choice. There's a lot of fighting going on in our country right now. It seems to have reached epic proportions. And why is that? Other presidential elections have not been so passionate. What makes this different? Well, if you really think about it, there's got to be something important happening that so many people are riled up. Usually, when people get upset like that, it has to do with something far more than a personality. Often, it is associated with a person's values and whether or not they feel those values are being encroached upon. When America was first founded, there were certain Christian values that were considered very important to have a good country and a free country because the United States was made of people who had fled tyranny and persecution for their beliefs, for their belief in Jesus Christ. And so that is what our nation was founded on. It was it was loaded upon the backs of those who had fled here for freedom, and they had to carry the weight of protecting and maintaining that freedom if they wanted to see America truly grow and prosper. So what are we seeing today? It appears that there are people now who want to change what the very basic structure of this country was from the beginning. A country who in God we trust, a country that valued the innocent, a country that fought against slavery and won, and a country that values free speech and the right to protect oneself from harm. There are those who want to oppose that. So let's look at the two platforms of the Democrats and the Republicans. And let's see who would be the best choice for the future of America. So I'll start with the Democrats and the Democrat platform. And I don't think a single Democrat would argue with me that their platform does include the murder of innocent children, the overthrow of our government, the exaltation of one group of people over the other. Right now, it's black people over white people. And their party does include their platform allowing strange people to come into the United States unvetted, opening the borders, perhaps tearing down the wall. So I just want you to think of that platform. I'm not exaggerating, that's their platform. Their platform is the things that I said, plus raising taxes. Very high. Raising taxes. Now, right now they say for those over 400,000, making over $400,000. But if you think about it, those making a lot of money can afford to leave any state where the taxes are high. And if the taxes are across the country, well, people are able to take their businesses and move them out of the country, which unfortunately takes away jobs from Americans. So if you want a future where your children are protected, the rights of the children and the elderly are protected, if you want a country where We vet those who come into our country so that we are not having human trafficking and we are not having drugs just pouring into our nation just because our borders are open. If you want a country that has a future for your children, even though you may only be 18 to 21 years old, maybe you haven't even gotten married yet, you haven't really thought hard about having children, let's just look a little bit into the future. Because most people marry by the time they're 30. And if that's the case, you could very well be someone who gets married in the next few years and has children. So, how you vote today will have an impact on the future that you want for your families. Do you want a future, if you vote Democrat, that supports taking criminals, violent criminals, out of prisons just because? Just because. We're just going to empty the prisons of criminals. Is that the kind of country you want for your future children to grow up in, where there is potential danger and more danger? Is that what you really want? Do you want a country where so many children are being killed in the womb that our nation shrinks while other nations from other countries who desire the American way flood our nation as immigrants and have multiple children? Those who don't believe in murdering their own young will then multiply and take over America. And they may not even be Americans. They may just have liked what we have, but will we be able to maintain that? Will we be able to maintain what people have suffered to achieve, to come to America and enjoy all our benefits? Will those benefits remain if we don't keep our culture too as Americans? Is this the future you want for your children, where you don't even know what their future will be like? I'm just asking obvious questions because I have not embellished the Democrat platform. No one is perfect. However, if we have a choice, do we want to destroy what people across the world are trying to achieve and we have it? Do we want to destroy that for us and our posterity? Think of that before you vote. Now, on the other hand, we have the Republican Party. And the platform, I'm just saying the platform of the party, is to protect the innocent, to protect your children, to protect the children in the womb, to give them a chance for life. Now, you may be young, you may be having relationships, getting pregnant, getting people pregnant, and it may be attractive to think, well, that we can just dispose of this little fun we had. However, let's look long term. Is there a God? Let's just say, even if you don't believe in God, there still is a possibility that He exists, whether or not you want to believe in Him. So, hypothetically, let's just say God exists. It's a possibility whether you like the idea or no. Do you think God will take kindly to the choices you make in your youth and in your ignorance and in your foolishness, where you kill your own children because of your pleasure that you don't want the responsibility for? Will God take that kindly, happily, in favor of you? Will He think favorably of you if you commit these things in your youth. It's important to think even a little bit into the future about what you do now and how it has repercussions upon what happens to you in the future. Because God does judge unrighteousness. If we do not repent, and who repents? Not everyone repents. Some people go further and further and further into their sin. So if you don't like me talking all about God and everything, oh, it's just too much religion for me. No, I'm not a religious person. I'm someone who knows the Lord. And I'm being honest about what I know He values and what I know He abhors. So let's look at some other things about the Republican platform. Okay, Republicans want to keep the country safe and protect the borders. Keep out strangers that are not vetted. Put the prisoners in prison. And if need be, Republicans are for getting rid of those who have done such heinous crimes that they are a threat to society. I don't mean just an opinion type person, a political prisoner, but I mean someone who has done atrocities to children, to people, to families. Do you want a safe place to live in the future? Or do you want one where prisoners are running rampant? Where your own children could be murdered, could be raped, could be destroyed? That's the question. You have to think of those things before you vote. And why am I saying this? Before you vote, oh, how can a vote be that important? Obviously, it is so important that people are risking their lives to go out and protest against protesters. So we've got protesters and we've got anti-protesters because the protesters have become rioters and the rioters are destroying our cities. And the rioters are the Democrats. So just think about the platform instead of the personality. You may not like President Trump, okay? You may think Biden is the coolest guy ever, but look at the platform. Even if we're not talking about corruption, look at the platform. Do you really want to forward the agenda? We have people coming from other countries, escaping from other countries, becoming leaders in our nation as Democrats, and then seeking to overthrow our nation after they fled from theirs. They're bringing the same problems to America that they fled from. Is that even logical? Think of these things before you vote. And let me ask you this. Why would someone who wasn't a multi-millionaire get into office and then suddenly have boatloads of riches come to them? Where do you think all that money comes from? So we have on one side the Democrat Party where very frequently they get into office and make more and more and more money after they get into office. This is true with Biden. And then you have President Trump, who had a lot of money, was a great businessman, sacrificed it all to come and be president and help our country, help to protect our country, help to put a wall to protect our country, and change things so that what we all wanted, he is fulfilling. But he's lost billions of dollars just being president. He gives away his pay as president I think he gets it every quarter. He gives it back to the American people. That is a heart of love. His platform is giving back to America. And do you really want your taxes to be raised? What if you really start making some decent money one of these days? And you all of a sudden have to pay tremendous taxes. That money does not go to your family. That money goes to big government. Is that what you really want? Those who make good amount of money, they don't want to have to pay taxes on that money. But those who are making a lot of money and promoting raising taxes, you have to think about it. They must have loopholes where they think they will not have to pay those taxes. So I just wanted to come on and encourage you to vote for the person that is forwarding a platform that will help America grow, that will help America be safe, and that will help America continue to be the place that everyone across the world, everyone generally speaking, wants to come to. Think about that before you vote this coming week. And thank you for listening to me. Please share this. This is a crucial time to share my video. Please share this video and encourage people to vote for America. Thank you, and I will talk with you later.